What's going on, Pokemon fans? I wanted to talk about my favorite deck to come out of Portland. This is Nathan Stratford's top 8. Arceus, Duraludon, Umbreon, VMAX. Everyone knows I'm an Arc guy, big Arc guy. If anyone listened to my Memory Capsule podcast with For Fall or my video on Team Fish Knuckles, both videos I talk about the Umbreon VMAX. I love it. I've been playing around with it. I didn't find a home I loved as much, but this is it. This is the most cooked up thing in top 8.
We need to cook. Okay.
By far the most unique and interesting deck, I would argue. It's just fantastic. It's a beautiful thing to look at. It's a work of art. They killed it. This group, Nathan Stratford, got top 8, like I mentioned. It was also piloted by Camden Freeze, great winning record into day 2, and also Makani Tran. Unfortunate win in him situation that just didn't go his way. But either way, the deck racked up a ton of wins, and yeah, we love that. We love that for those guys. We love that for Arceus, and this is a win for the Arceus cult everywhere. I'm just diving into some of the cards real quick before we get into games. Duraludon VMAX stayed great. We all knew Lost Zone box was going to be huge, whether it was Turbo, Kyogre, Sablezard. Very difficult for them to get through a Duraludon VMAX. Duraludon gets a little weaker as Lugia has those counters, but not Duraludon doesn't look that much worse to warrant, clearly for them, a different partner. It still serves a lot of purposes. Umbreon VMAX is the new addition. Everyone knew Vulpix V-Star was weaker for this weekend. Vulpix's attack effect is the opponent's Pokemon with abilities cannot attack it. That kind of checkmates Gardevoir if they don't have enough gust effects. And headed into this weekend, a lot of players were talking about the Mimikyu EX, a great psychic attacker, very efficient, that does not have an ability, so it would just OHKO the Vulpix, or Gardevoir drawing their whole deck. They can pick any number of counters, you know. Path to the Peak is another great one. Some of them Roxanne Path, they OHKO through the Vulpix, or they simply add a couple more Gusts than they were playing, because Gust, Roxanne, Memory Skip, also extremely effective. So Vulpix looked bad. Vulpix bad. That's the takeaway. These guys, they swapped it for Umbreon, which, like I mentioned, is a card I've definitely been aware of, but this not quite like this. So the strength into Gardevoir is having that gust effect whenever you'd like, and that perfect dark typing. A lot of decks struggle to hit 310 on an EX right now. Choice Belt being one of the best kind of damage modifiers, but only being effective into V Pokemon. We don't have that quite. We don't have that good of a card like that for EXs. Doesn't matter when you're super effective. I mean, that's a huge amount of damage. So long as you don't have a double turbo on the Umbreon, reducing its damage to 140, doubled to 80, not enough to OHKO Gardevoir. But if you have all basic energies, 160 times 2, 320. You can gust it up, KO it, and judge them. That's pretty crazy, and that's just a great strategy to a lot of decks. Gust something in an aggressive fashion, pull it up with that ability, kill it, judge them. I think that's such a sick combo. I'm sure that's served them very well in a lot of different matchups. Then on to Lumineon, they've got a couple of fun supporters that we haven't seen. I love Discovery, really important that you get down a Dura that you want to, Nova onto, or the Umbreon for the ability quickly in case you want some early gusts. So Adventurer's Discovery is a great supporter turn 1. It's a great supporter turn 2 as we don't have Evolution Incense any longer, so we really want those cards to find Arceus V-Stars. Adventurer's Discovery is fun. The rest pretty normal. Karen's Conviction, very spicy. If anyone pays for Alex Szymanski's Substack, he was talking about ways his Arceus Duraludon deck can adapt. He landed on Single Strike Energies, which are plus 20 for each one attached to your Single Strike Pokemon. So with those energies, your Duraludon can hit higher and higher and higher. I think these guys landed on this card with the same logic. Duraludon VMAX's attack is Shred. Goodra V-Star is a very relevant attacker right now. Once it gets that Rolling Iron going, it has a damage reduction effect. Well, you shred right through that with Duraludon VMAX. The only issue is, even though Shred doesn't care about the damage reduction, you're still not hitting high enough to one-hit KO it. But with these damage mods, you can get there. So Karen's Conviction adds plus 20 to your Single Strike Pokemon for each prize card that they have taken. So if they have taken 2 prizes, that's plus 40. Choice Belt is another 30, that's plus 70 onto your base damage of 220. You're now hitting for 290 with a Shred effect. You're OHKOing Goodra V-Stars. And if your Duraludon comes to the active spot with no damage on it, doing 290 Shred, you're going to win a lot of games, and you're definitely going to destroy Goodra. So I think that's incredible. Volo has been a long long-standing addition to Arc Piles. You just have big VMAX partners. Losing 3 prizes sucks. The HP is high. That doesn't suck. So you can definitely tank hits, and then hopefully you have the resources, the energies to afford to go to the bench, and then you can Volo, discard that Pokemon right out of play and deny your opponent those prizes. I think that's really sick with the Duraludon. Just in general, some game plans you want to go a lot of Arceuses. It kind of serves the purpose of Sharon's. It's very similar in that regard, but Sharon's Care only being for your colorless Pokemon, Volo, you can do that with anything. They could totally waste a hit into Umbreon, into Duraludon, and you can just go, Volo, Lumineon Volo, remove that damage from play. One of the other really spicy things is the Alakazam, the Hawlucha, and the 2 Choice Belts. That is reminiscent of older Arceus decks that kind of some would, some wouldn't choose to play Galarian Zigzagoons and Choice Belts. The logic being they really want that 220 out of their Trinity Nova on turn 2. Turn 1, you attach your Arceus. Turn 2, you Starbirth for some combination of Double Turbo, Old School was Galarian Zigzagoon, and Belt, and now your first attack of the game is doing 220, which OHKOs almost every basic Pokemon V, and you're accelerating. We lost Galarian Zigzagoon to rotation. Hawlucha stays. They're not a perfect swap. Hawlucha's only to the bench. That's where Alakazam comes into play. Alakazam's ability, you can move damage around from your opponent's Pokemon to another Pokemon. And so you Hawlucha ping their bench. Alakazam can move those counters wherever you like to the active Pokemon, and then you Choice Belt, hit for 220. And you can just steal games that way. Arc Mirror's really important to hit 220. I would say Miraidon, unfortunately, Choice Belt's not getting you there because that's an EX. But still, the game's full of basic Vs right now. Those cards, the Hawlucha, the Alakazam, the Choice Belt, they really help to get you to 230 on Dragonite. Dragonite's got a little more HP than most. All kinds of interactions. Also on that note, Turbo Lost Zone Box, very prevalent this weekend. Dragonite V is one of their best attackers, hits for 250 with a drawback that they do 20 damage to all of their benched Pokemon. The surprise factor for these guys playing Alakazam, I bet, was enormous. In that matchup, a lot of Dragonites like to kind of ride that line. It's safe to assume, or was safe to assume, Arceus had no type of bench snipe, so they could afford to damage a bunch of their Comfies. But now you nest ball Alakazam, I can play with those counters how I like and just begin to take your Comfies and take prizes. That's not your attack. So you take a prize for moving damage counters around, there's a prize card, and then you attack, and there's another prize card. So one of the ways Lost Zone wins games is to prize trade, but with the addition of that ability, you can now trade much more effectively and steal games that way. Lost City, that looks like it stayed. It was worth it for them. Into the Guardy, I mean, again, the ability of Umbreon bringing up things. A lot of the time Gardevoir wants to feed you the Manaphy, feed you Mew Celebration, feed you Radiant Greninja, anything but their Ralts, because that's how they play the game. And if they whiff VIP Pass, I mean, you just keep bringing up Ralts, Kirlias, and Lost Zoning them, and they're crushed. Lost City has a ton of utility into all of the Lost Zone stuff as well. Sometimes they've got to make tough choices. They've got like 2 Cram, 2 Sableye. If they Lost Zone one of them, they're only playing the game with one, and now you can very easily Lost Zone their other, and that's all they've got. I think that's about it. I want to dive into some games. The Double Turbo. I did just hit a Mew that played Fan of Waves, so I'm a little not as inclined to use the Double Turbo. Hey babe. Yeah, I'm filming right now. We got a good game going. This will be the last one if it makes the cut. I need to figure out, do I want to risk it into Fan of Waves or not? Probably can't risk it. But that's all right. Okay. Cramming right away, probably for the VIP pass grab. His hand might be dead, essay. Dang, I thought we were going to have a good game here. But he is Fusion Strike drawing for 1. Don't let it be the VIP. Don't let it be the VIP. Oh, that would have been sick. Yeah, so just like that. That's surely going to be a concession out of my opponent. Yeah. Right. Still proving very difficult to get a good game on live. Just both, like, either I want to concede, my opponent conceding, donks, glitches, bugs. We are going second. God, I love that card. So this might be, I think his name was Benjamin, that kid's, like, Palkia deck. But 210 is an easy number for us to Starbirth for the pieces for. Yeah, I think I have to. Arc, the V-Star, Umbreon. I think that looks really good. I think it's fine to grab the V-Star in their face. I don't know how much disruption they're really doing, and a Judge would hurt them a lot also. As they don't have Bibarel down.
Sit down.
Don't piss them dogs off. Pretty good start. Pretty good start. Super reasonable to have a KO on either of these Ice Riders next turn. That's what makes this so cool, is that I can research and still gust something active. It's going to be difficult to figure out how I want to map my prizes. If he's going to force me to kill a VMAX, then I obviously want to take these two. He's going to one card. Trying to pull that Landon Keller. Dog's going goblin mode. So he's going to get a few cards, but he's still kind of... Oof. Wow, that turned around for him, you know what I'm saying? I kind of like taking the one prize here because it's like an Irida away from KOing this arc. So maybe I can't do that. Am I gonna go another arc? Probably want the Duraludon. Man, I hate wasting this right here. It's such a good ability to use, but we still got both bosses. Yeah, I think hitting into that VMAX. Because if he whiffs this KO, like, we're good. Just cross switcher KO'd too. He could do 220 to the Dura. Okay, definitely double turbo. Karen's Conviction in hand is sick. I think we could use that somehow. Double turbo. I might get the choice belt, because that could matter. I feel like for Karen's Conviction math, we might be able to get one of these things high enough. I don't know. I haven't run out of time. Gosh, I've got to commit these energies though, and that's the part I hate, because I've got none in hand. I think I gotta go to the Dura for that reason. I'm not gonna go to the Dura. That sucks, dude. Did I get rid of a medal? I did, right? Got rid of one prized one? Fuck. That is easy to do. Shit. I guess I'd go all darks. Yeah. Damn. Guess that made the decision easy, but I really prefer Duraludon there. If Karen stays in hand, though, we've got some really crazy kind of game-ending potential. I guess we're going to just go 2-3 prizers to try to win that way. Probably not. If he forces us to go through this, it's going to be 2-3-1. Wow, complete whiff. It's pretty good for it. Because we're not going to be able to hit boss. Yeah, I think this is pretty sick. We can, over the course of 2 turns, get Palkia within a Hawlucha of going down. I think that's pretty spicy. Yeah, because now he's 250. I can move 20 more, that's 270. Hawlucha for 280. And we actually might take a 5-prize turn. We have Escape Rope. It's going to get a little tough. If this stays in the active, it's a little sketchy. But I still think going for it was worth it. We've got Boss top deck. We've got Ultra Ball Lumineon. All that looks great. If we research, we're looking for Escape Rope Hawlucha. It still feels worth going for it, yeah. I really want E-Rope. Boss. Wow, that's sick. Yeah, that's really sick. What is the best way to do this? I think we have to do this. We had the Hawlucha 180, 140, yeah. I think that's pretty sick. Then we could hit this metal off of the prizes. Probably Umbreon. So we're still looking for that E-Rope or Boss plus Lucha. That's not it. Sam to like get any use, I feel like, out of the Hawluchas. It's gonna get weird. I don't exactly know how we're winning. We're taking 2. He's got the KO now. 120, 140, 160, 180, 210, 270. That's not the KO. If he has another Echoing Horn, I feel like we win if he doesn't kill Arceus. We'll get a really cool 3-prize turn off not a VMAX. This would be a sick game if it works out the way I'm hoping. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he would just pass. Obviously, he's taking the KO. Let's see. We have Lucha Kazam that kills this, and then, Rip. We're still in a tough spot. We are still in a tough spot. Come on, there has to be a way to win this. I don't think that does anything if that's at 300. I don't know. I just don't know. Can we hit boss off of this prize grab? Boss? Boss? Or Ultra Ball, because then we could have went for Lumineon boss. Damn. So it's literally energy boss for him now. We could still hit E-Rope. That's right. That's an out. So we're definitely going to research. We did hit the metal. So now we can go to the Dura. Escape rope. Come on. One time for the one time. Oh my god, bro. That's insane. Yeah. Insane. This deck's cracked. That's so sick. Yeah, we got to showcase like every card of the deck.
Get down.
He gives us the cracked Squovit. And then we are going to Breaking Swipe. Sick. Homie hit us with the emotes. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's definitely why Alakazam and Hawlucha can be amazing. With Kieran's Conviction as well, we were able to like really play with the math and get that come back in ways that we needed to. I thought his aggressive, Ice Rider was going to be the end of us, but you can really play from behind in some cool ways when you top deck, like they're not top deck, but when you high roll a bit, when variance goes your way. We also needed so little, if not the E-Rope. Like, it's crazy to have a hand of 10 and not have, like, Lumi Boss. But anyway, that'll be it. I love this deck. Again, I'm going to be watching it. Headed into Hartford, Milwaukee, if I can play it or some combination of these cards. It's definitely really cool, and congrats again to those guys for that finish.